Oh shit, dude. Here we go. Behind the scene. Okay, guys. Everyone be quiet. Seriously. Everyone. Shh.
Welcome everybody to BlizzCon. We know that you all want to hear more about Overwatch 2.
My
Allow
boy!
us to invite you behind the scenes to explain more of what we're doing and why.
Everybody, please hit record. Fingers crossed.
We lost Scott.
It's off to a good start.
It's going great.
We've been assembling one of the best teams that I have ever worked with.
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous
so
too.
Proud of the progress that we have made together.
We really liked the stylized drop down.
Imagine that it's coming forward, boom, boom. This starts to spin.
The scale
Pog.
and the scope of this game
New map!
meant that we've needed
Toronto!
to grow substantially.
New map, dude. I need to see more of that map.
Let me start over.
Overall, I think we've done incredibly well as a team moving to work from home.
They've been working like this.
Oh, shadow play.
They've been working like this.
There have definitely been challenges.
They've been working
but
like
the
that. That's
team
amazing.
is really putting everything we've got behind this game.
Oh, the
For next
music!
big step
You're
in
killing me, dude. The
Overwatch
music.
Universe. New heroes, game modes,
Oh,
major
Soldier!
story beats.
With competitive and PvE,
Soldier!
I see Overwatch 2 as the Overwatch for all of my friends.
You know, we're always inspired by what story and franchise development does with the animated shorts. We really wanted
It's
to bring
Soldier!
that cinematic experience into the game.
You can invest in your heroes and grow them over time. I'm super geeked out about Overwatch.
Hello?
I can't wait for people to play this game. It just gets better and better.
There are some things that we just can't
Skill
do
tree!
without a sequel.
For story mode.
So thank you so much for your patience so far, and I hope you enjoy this behind-the-scenes look.
Oh,
at
you
Overwatch
damn
2.
bet. You damn bet I will, Jefferino. New maps and roll
All the players at home want to see one of the new maps that we've never talked about before.
Really, I can just like
I'm
I can
shaking.
just talk about anything that I want to.
Yes.
You're serving this up to the guy that is like
Do it!
intentionally leaked information in past interviews.
You can do it officially now.
Okay.
My heart's
So,
racing so fast,
One of the
dude.
maps that I'm most excited for in Overwatch 2 is our Rome map.
Oh my
We always want Overwatch
god!
to feel like this globe-trotting adventure for our
Rome!
players. So we're having a lot of fun coming up with the Overwatch version of Rome.
We wanted a very
You're
romantic
not
sort
doing
of
this.
powerful feeling of old world architecture. One of the most
Wow!
exciting things for me is the early building of
Let's
these maps,
go!
where we get to sit down together with key people from the environment team, level
Oh,
designers.
you gotta be
effects
kidding
groups.
me.
We'll spend some time talking about moments in the game that we really want to see, like the Colosseum, or a grand
Ezio!
view of the hills of Rome in the
That's
backdrop.
all it all
And
in
then
a
we'll go back
hand.
and do a paint over, or we'll do a concept painting of certain things based
Dude.
on that.
We try to draw inspiration from as many different sources as possible. For example, one of our environment artists had just taken a
Like,
trip
hey, cool.
to Rome.
They
and
did that with
he
Busan.
returned
They did that with Busan too. They traveled there.
thousands of pictures and was so excited to work on a map.
They
set
did
in
the same
Italy.
thing with Busan.
There's a
in
lot of
the Korean map.
architecture in Rome that represents
Mosquito.
the empire that it used to be. So we brought some of that back, some of the things that are destroyed
And they-
in real life.
and they made it like
we kind
Overwatch
of
style.
Rebuilt in a kind of an Overwatch style.
It's one of the most
Just what I
beautiful
said.
pieces of environment art that I think we've made for the entire game, and it just absolutely took my breath away.
Pog. Dude, that
Can we
looks
reveal more
beautiful.
maps?
Yes, Scott.
Yeah,
why don't
you're
you
just
have the
spoiling
honor?
me,
Why don't
dude.
you reveal, like, is there an artified, like, let's pick an artified
I know.
one.
Another
I
map.
know what map I want to talk about. It's the one that I just get super excited about. New York City. New York City is just an amazing Overwatch location.
What do you mean?
We're really striving to
Oh
make
my
it as authentic as
God.
possible while still putting this
Oh my
Overwatch spin on
god,
it.
they're spoiling
There's a lot
us.
of amazing buildings and architecture pieces that just, especially for artists, stands out a lot. And they usually use this kind of Art Deco style from the 1920s,
Beautiful.
1950s.
We
Health pack,
started
the mega.
in an area that's a little
And a
bit
bu-
like
guys, and a
Vaviee.
positioning guide
There's some
coming up.
smaller shops there.
And a positioning guide. I'm gonna
There's
complete the
a fire
series. All of it is gonna
station,
be insane
little pizza
content.
Places and things that
pizza.
that are familiar with New York City,
New
will
anno positioning guy
recognize
is coming.
or maybe see the reference that we're trying to make with some of our different locations. It feels like something you haven't seen in other games before because it's uniquely
High ground.
Overwatch.
Antis all day, dude. All day. Oh, look,
Well,
I
we
see this
should
spot right
move
here above the
on,
bus.
Otherwise, we
Jump
just
boost,
have to
lol.
reveal more maps. So we were talking about PvP. And,
Okay.
you know, one thing that I think is really interesting about PvP
Yes.
in Overwatch 2
It is so
some
fucking
of the
worth it.
philosophical
I'm dying.
changes we're making to the approach.
PvP feels different and new. We're upgrading our combat feel. The roles are.
I'm gonna
playing
study
differently.
these
When it
maps,
comes to
dude.
All new maps. It's a pretty big departure from where we are on live right now. So I can't wait to see where we end up with it by the time we launch this thing.
Whoa, look at this.
We're also experimenting with the idea we call role passives, which are passive
see your
abilities that
your
the
shield
hero can have
when you
based
don't
on
drop
what role
shield.
they are. For example, currently in our internal builds, the tank heroes all have knockback reduction against them, and they also generate less ultimate charge for enemies that are shooting at them. Damage dealing heroes have a movement speed bonus, which is great for flanking around the map. And healing heroes, support heroes have automatic healing that kicks in after they haven't taken damage for a while, very similar to Mercy's passive, but a little bit at a lower rate.
One of the more shocking changes that we've been exploring in Overwatch
Heroes
2
have self-heal.
PvP is a change
Including
to the tank
Ana.
role entirely. That's applied to all of the tanks. We want to try to make them more toe-to-toe brawlers and less characters that just stand back and protect other people.
Yes!
So, for example, for Reinhardt,
Fuck
we've
double
given him
shield.
2 charges of fire
Fuck
strikes,
double
he can
shield.
throw
Fuck double
fire
shield. No
strikes
more.
aggressively and more often. Also, his charge, he's able to cancel it now, and you can steer it more aggressively, so you can, you know, not quite turn a corner, but you can definitely more accurately pin targets. And because you can cancel it, it allows you to use it much more aggressively and, you know, really go after those key targets without feeling like you're going to sacrifice, you know, all of your positioning and everything. He's almost more terrifying now with this, be able to unleash his full arsenal more often.
And then you can shatter
than just
after.
being
You
the guy with
cancel.
the shield.
The changes to Reinhardt that we're trying, and they might not ship, that's just the reality, but the changes that we're trying right now are to try to embrace more of that
You can
instinct
cancel.
that players have when they want to play
Bro,
a
for
big,
days.
burly character
Fuck double shield.
that looks aggressive and feels like it should be aggressive.
Woo! What? Combat
Shortly after
upgrades.
BlizzCon, we spun up this group, our combat field group, to really just work on what happens when a player holds the trigger.
We're putting a ton of effort into looking at all of our characters and trying to give them even a more visceral weapon feel.
From sound to VFX to animation to the design of these units, all new sounds for a lot of our weapons in the game,
New
all new
bugs!
sound system that's driving it. And we didn't just level up a unit, we leveled up the rest of the game.
Soldier
When we
gameplay.
first started working on Overwatch, you know, we spent quite a bit of time working
Soldier
on
gameplay.
gunfire sounds and just general combat feel to make it feel really awesome. We're revisiting.
Tracer
pretty much
has
everything.
shield.
Nothing's off the table, so we're looking at even kind of small things such as
Tracer has shield.
melee attacks that every hero has.
Mercy has shield.
They have kind of new audio pass and a new kind of feel and visual effect when you hit things.
The
One
character
of the bigger
goes back
efforts
when
we're
you
undertaking for Overwatch
that
2 is
headshots.
what we're calling our weapon.
The head will go
2.0
back.
Sound pass. What this is a big overhaul to the weapon systems in the game. That means the way the gun feels in your hands. You could feel the ammo running out as you're getting lower on the clip. We've really tried to amplify those sounds to better encapsulate the gameplay and the gunplay that comes with Overwatch 2.
Big.
Another key for the weapons was getting them to feel like they're in the environment. This meant working with convolution.
That sounds
replay.
badass.
It's a new system that we've implemented into Overwatch.
The
It's
revolver.
a way that we can capture the acoustics of an environment and transport it onto the sounds that we're using. So we went and captured tales of guns in different environments through our weapon shoots. And then we've cut them and applied it so that we can
Are you
support
kidding
a
me?
lot more environments. Now we're supporting outdoor, urban outdoor, warehouse tales, tight tunnels, small rooms, and it gives a lot more presence to the weapons.
Oh,
and the way
they
that
popped
react
off!
in the
They
world.
popped off, dude!
Has evolved a lot since Overwatch 1 came out. On top
They
of
used
that, I think
real
we really
gun.
want to push the visceral nature of how we do combat.
Oh
So we
my
focus a lot,
God.
not just on the wonderful sound effects, but also with how the gun moves as you shoot. You know, so you can really feel
Samba.
every single shot leaving the chamber.
Aimbot.
And there's a lot of
Aimbot.
subtle little tweaks we have to do on the
Look at the
gameplay
shotgun.
engineering side to make that feel really visceral. Everything from making sure that the camera shakes are crisp, making sure that if you get shot, you know exactly these tight indicators show up on the outside of your reticle. All these things play into making the game feel not just tight and responsive, but also modern and up to date.
That's fucking
Take
pog.
76, for example. What we wanted to do in Overwatch 2 with his weapon was make it really feel incredibly powerful, and that happens with a bunch of different elements that mix
That sounds
together.
like a real
But
gun.
It really feels like the gun is almost just outside of your control. A lot of that comes down to this camera shake technology, where every time you fire the weapon, you want to feel like it's running through your entire body, and the camera shake gives that extra bite to every single shot out of the chamber. It makes him feel.
I might remove
really
camera
good.
shake.
You guys
Maybe.
got a sneak peek of
There's
Sojourn
definitely an option.
from last BlizzCon.
Okay,
She's
let's see
been,
Sojourn.
Under development for quite a while, and she's actually quickly at this point become a lot of people's favorites in-house. When we look back at
100.
Overwatch when it was originally created,
What's their alt?
There was a lot of heroes that were
Oh my
made
God, they're
from a
showing
gameplay
so much
standpoint
right
kind of
now.
surrounding
They're
a
showing
weapon
so
type.
much.
For example, Farah was based on a rocket launcher hero. Widowmaker
The
is
sound.
clearly like kind of the sniper. We thought there was a weapon that was kind of
The sound of
missing
Widow.
that would be a lot of fun to play with, and that's
That
a
sniper sounds
railgun.
so good.
It's so much fun in the playtest to have this really powerful shot that can
Whoa.
rip through enemies.
That's
if
her
you
alt?
really are accurate with
Oh,
it.
what is
She's
that? Oh my
just all about
God.
that aim skill. So if you got that aim skill, you'll love her.
We're still exploring new game modes.
Oh my
And we're
God, that's so
also
cool.
Reevaluating older game modes
It's an
that
expansion.
people are more
It's a-
critical of. You know, we're of the mindset
It's a separate game.
Maybe 2CP doesn't exist in Overwatch 2, and
But it's
maybe
free.
There's a
The
new
PvP
cool
part,
game
anyway.
mode that replaces it.
If you have
We
Overwatch 1,
really
it's free.
want Overwatch 2 to feel like
At least I think.
the next evolution.
I'm buying it regardless.
A true sequel to the first game, not an add-on. It's not a small part. It's not an extension of the original game. This is an evolution and
Okay.
a replacement to the original game, and I think it's exciting.
Hero missions.
Hero missions are probably one of the things that's the hardest to wrap your head around if you've never
What?
played one of them.
Dope. I want to do
goal
this.
around hero missions is for these to be this co-op
Genji.
PvE experience.
I personally only play competitive mode. Like, I'm all about that competition. And I have friends that they don't want to do that at all. So I'm really looking forward to a game that I can play hours and hours with my friends who aren't
Perfect.
competitive. And
They-
it's also something that
they needed
I'm
this.
interested in.
The game needed
Hero missions
story.
are the content that people are playing.
It needed
as
story.
They are leveling up their heroes, and so for a system like this to really sing, you need a
Wow, the
lot
Ash
of
shotgun
missions.
sound.
We don't want players to feel like they're just in this grind to get to the top.
And there's a lot of really
My
good
God, did you see
back-end
that
technology
shatter?
that we're exploring.
Holy
So the
shit.
heroes are constantly
That shatter.
bringing personality and some light story to these hero missions as well.
The goal is to make as many as possible, hundreds of hero missions. We've
Huge.
explored a lot of different ways of getting
That's
to
content.
that much content. Still have like different sets of enemy units that people
That's
will
content.
be fighting against, and there's different hero mission types. At the same time, hero missions can take place in all of the multiplayer maps that we've done,
Cool, cool, cool.
and we're also adding new spaces onto some of these maps.
Perfect.
It's a huge challenge for the art team. We
Whoa.
take maps that a lot of people love and recognize, and we have to add a lot more art and level design to it.
In this one hero mission playtest, we came up to an
Look at
area
that.
in Kings Row that usually has a gate on it. Suddenly that gate opened and I saw a new area of Kings Row that I had never seen before.
You may be
What?
playing a payload game type, and the payload may decide to take this new route instead of going the usual route.
This is my
That
favorite
was
map,
really,
Pog.
really cool. It was like this eye-opening special moment.
Holy shit.
Lan, our lead tech artist on the
Anubis!
environment side, very early on her own free time, made a prototype of a sandstorm on the Temple of Anubis
Oh
map.
my
At the time, we
God.
didn't know what we wanted to do with that, but it looked awesome.
We looked at it and
The
went,
tree's moving.
Oh my god, we absolutely have to do this.
So we put some new technology in place that allows us to
Whoa.
do this dynamically. You start the mission off, clear day. Midway through the mission, suddenly this sandstorm or heavy weather would show up.
It made the world just feel so much more alive.
That's amazing.
There's a sunset, daytime, nighttime, but depending on where you are in the world, these look different. California or Hollywood would have what we call a California sun. New Bonnie, there's a great African sun that happens there. You start to get a sense of space and mood.
Paris.
This is what really brings the levels to life.
Nice,
For me, the
nice,
dynamic
nice,
was
nice,
exciting.
nice.
Just seeing these dramatic
Imagine,
landscapes, the wind,
imagine
and the atmosphere
mid-game.
blowing by. It's a much more cinematic experience for the player.
Before you start a mission, you look at a map. It's nighttime in Necropolis, or there's a sandstorm in Necropolis. Players can make some
Nice.
choices based on knowing this information. Characters like Hanzo or Widowmaker start to be a little more valuable because they have abilities that allow them to see through the
Through
sand
wall.
clearly.
Yeah, yeah. Ha ha ha. Nice.
Are we gonna
Nice.
talk about any of the
Nice.
types of objectives
Nice.
in hero missions?
Yeah,
I like that.
Let's talk about the objectives. Players are being asked to do different things from one hero mission to the next so that they all feel really fresh to the player.
For example, we have Gather and Return, where you're trying to go and grab these different canisters to kind of safeguard them.
This
so
is
they don't go
insane.
off and affect the population in
What?
a negative way. It creates this really cool tension in the world where, on the one hand, you're trying to split up and go grab all these canisters to be as efficient as possible.
Objectives.
But at the same time, now you're having these sort of special enemy units spawn that are really difficult, and if you kind of get
Oh
caught by
my
yourself,
god.
it turns
Look
into
at
a pretty bad
this.
situation really quickly, and it feels extremely cooperative and like a very different way to interact with the Overwatch universe.
We're experimenting with all sorts of ideas, and just internally we have names
It's like mission
Wall of
splitting up.
Death, Scavenger
Then you have to
Hunt,
regroup
and
after.
Kill Quest, and all these new mechanics and enemies for people to experience. Players will be able to jump in night after night, play different hero missions, and then work through the progression system,
Fuck.
leveling up their heroes.
Oh, that beat. That boop. Progression and
At
talent.
BlizzCon in 2019, we started to talk about progression, and we showed the very early version of our talent
That
system,
is crazy
which
when
I
they
think
leaked
was
it
really
first,
Cool. We had that
when they
one
showed it.
talent where like Meg became the rolling snowball, which was a big hit. We've really blown that system out.
I'm real excited about talents. You can play the same hero in so many different ways. Now with the skill tree, you can have fun every night doing different things and kind of experimenting.
Yeah, the talent system is like really deep and rich, and every single hero has different trees. You might open up 76's
never seen that.
tree, and as you're leveling and picking new talents, you're starting to feel your hero change. We've had some pretty hilarious versions.
this is definitely
of
gonna make-
the healing one where his
This is gonna make
biotic
PvE
field
so
travels with
fucking
him.
good.
It also repulses enemies. We called it the snowplow.
76
build,
has a
where
beard.
76 is like running through spaces, pushing enemies away from them.
Designing these is super fun because it's like we get to break all the rules that we've sort of established for ourselves, and we get to really take the gloves off.
Mercy
like,
DPS.
dual wield grenade launchers, and we've had Mercy be able to area effect res their whole team at once at super long range.
AoE res, bringing it back.
Like mad scientists making all this stuff.
You're all used to using these kind of kinetic weapons like Soldier 76's rifle or fire attack like what Reinhardt's flames.
Why do you need to pull out your
As soon as you start
pistol when you
mutating
can
these
shoot
talents,
beams, Kek
all of a sudden
W?
Maybe you're doing freeze damage or electrical damage, but it gives the animators a bunch of crazy opportunities. You know, the animations are going to change to show them freezing and shattering.
Boom.
And if you shock someone with a lightning
What?
attack, they
Look
can
at
shake in
Winston.
place and stun, maybe chain to other enemies. All sorts of stuff to make you
Boom.
feel like
Look
you're
at that
controlling the
shit.
battlefield in novel ways.
As a huge RPG nerd myself, the first time I opened up the talent tree system,
Oh, that's so
like,
cool.
oh my gosh,
I'm gonna deck out
something I
Anna
love,
so hard on
like,
this.
I just want to plan, and I want to see like where do I want to invest, and how am I going to play this character.
Yes, it's so great. And you start at the bottom of the tree.
Can cancel.
Yes, exactly.
Like Tracer gets to do what?
Can cancel a
and then you
charge.
Start working and kind of planning how you're gonna get down there. It's like
I'm gonna put everything in
so
Anna,
fun.
dude. Everything in Anna. All my points going in Anna, dude. It's gonna be a hype. Remember, they did this for every single character. Every single
When
character
we look
has
back
this.
At
That's a lot of
BlizzCon
work.
2019, and we talk about some of
balancing
the
it.
criticisms that we had. One of them, as a development team, that we felt was that the combat was just not engaging enough. So the fact that our combat wasn't highly engaging to us as players meant that we had a problem with the enemy units and that they just weren't feeling interesting enough.
Just because we show
NPCs
something to
wise,
the public,
he's talking, not
it doesn't mean
PvP,
that is what it's
PvE.
going to be. If we make discoveries where things aren't working how we want, they're not reading how we want, they're not fun enough, we're totally down to reinvestigate, reiterate, and just really find ways to level kind of all aspects
They're
of
showing a
things
lot.
until they feel good.
I would say a major focus of all of 2020 was to make the null sector enemy units more engaging, and some
Wow,
of
there's
this
way
was
more now.
adding new units and evolving other
Like,
units.
you know, you play King's Row
Interesting
story
combat
mode and
for
all
us
that,
is varied
but
combat
now they
for
added
us.
so much
So
more.
Sometimes we're going to ask you to protect something in Overwatch 2. Sometimes we're just going to ask you to get someplace. Sometimes we might ask you to escort something across a map while it's being attacked. And so it's a different type of spawning, and it's a different type of units that are in there, and it's a simpler objective.
There's a lot of units Aaron is talking about. Lots of different units, lots of different
Awesome.
types. They serve different purposes. You do
They're brutal
different
high,
things to them.
yeah.
It's really going to help a lot of us.
This is gonna be
find the fun
so
and make sure
cool,
that Overwatch
and like
2
figure out
is all
strategies and skill
One of
trees
the
and how to
sets
build
of
properly.
enemies is what we internally call
And how to play.
objective units, and they're typically units that don't even attack players. The simplest version would be something like the Breacher.
It's two legs with this huge bomb on its back. It was built to do one thing: slowly and methodically march towards its objective, and then it transforms, and the bomb opens up like a flower. It starts spinning and charging up, and you hear this awesome sound, and you know you have a little bit of time before it's going to explode, and you have to take it out.
Got it. Recognizable
Like
enemies.
The slicers, which you guys have seen before, they're little, we call them the chickens.
It's
They're
awesome.
little chickens sometimes, they run really fast. You know, we have a guy we're
What?
training right now who flies and drops these bombs that create these kind of ever-expanding smoke fields that you have to escape from. But
This
are
is
super
insane.
Deadly. So you really get to use your mobility options to kind of escape that.
There's things like the Polar. You could be moving through these darker
Sombra
alleys,
music.
and
Sombra,
as soon as
Sombra.
you hear that Polar spawn, it suddenly becomes like really spooky and kind of scary.
This very tall, elegant-looking character that's blindfolded.
Whoa.
3 orbs that circle around her as her eyes.
What
And
the hell is
we basically
this?
spun those orbs around her head as a big tell, launched them at the
They're doing
player,
this
and
all
then activated
online.
This tractor beam, and it's bringing
I
you
love
in,
these
bringing you in,
devs.
and then you get this awesome like anticipation of the hair opening up, so you know what's about to
It
happen.
pulls you.
One thing we've just recently been experimenting with is this idea.
Holy
Yes,
shit.
we didn't want to
Holy
feel
shit,
like they're
dude.
Just, oh, this guy's got double health and double damage. We want to make sure that
Holy
units feel like they have
shit.
different behaviors and have different attacks. So, for example,
I'm scared of that one.
Run, normally, he just he fires his
That's
gun,
scary.
He dies pretty simply. If you fight elite grunts,
You guys have any idea how much I'm gonna
burst fire
put
pattern
hours
is
into
very
this
deadly
game?
If you're close, and if you manage to take them out,
I'm gonna play the
they
shit
don't
out of
die
this.
Right away. They instead can crawl on the ground towards you, and you try to back away because it's
crawling.
If they get you, they can explode.
Ah.
Artillery at BlizzCon. We're all just staring at this, and we're like, what are we gonna do to level this up?
One of the things we really felt wasn't coming through was the damage states.
Missile gun.
Shoot these guns off.
Stage
but
1,
currently
stage
it's not
2,
reading
stage
as something
3.
that can happen in the game easily.
We changed the design.
They're complex.
We changed the animation, and we go back and forth and just continue.
It's actually
to
hard.
We decided, hey, you know what?
It's
We're
actually
gonna
hard.
Just delete half of these damage states, so now it's super readable.
From an animation standpoint, we decided on
Whoa.
the spinning barrel version. Just did this really nice kickback. The tip of the barrel opens up when it's about to fire and shifts into place, and boom!
It's really
Cool.
amazing to be fighting an artillery unit.
It looks-
and
yeah,
you
that-
see the
that's
guns
why.
outside, and as you're shooting the guns, they're actually visibly taking damage. And
I
then
like that it's
you can blow
hard.
them off
That's
at
gonna
rats and kind of
way
stumble
more
to the
fun,
side, and
way more
it really
engaging.
makes you feel like you're there, and it's super fun.
In
It's-
a lot of
you
the
have to
stuff
look
we've
at it
showed
like
so
from
far,
a
you're fighting
MMO
null sector.
perspective.
These are evil killing machines intent on marching you down.
And you have
The way
skill
to stop them
trees,
is by shooting them.
and you have
and we wanna make sure
wow,
that
and you have
feels responsive.
there's so
and
many
visceral.
ways
Really making
to
sure that when
tackle.
they take a hit, it feels like their whole body has been punched, almost like hit by a truck.
Boom.
That's what really sells this fantasy that you're playing these superheroes. One of the cool pieces of technology
Cool.
that we created was what we call chain hit reactions. Oftentimes you'll find null sector bunched up, marching maybe a half a dozen units abreast.
Wow.
You expect if you shoot one, they're gonna knock into their buddies. So we make that happen.
Collision. There's
Turns out
unit
it's really fun,
collision.
too.
What the fuck was that? New
One
hero.
of the things that we showed last year at BlizzCon was the new looks for our heroes.
Oh, shit.
The theory kind of going in was like, you want to preserve the essence of your hero, but also kind of show that that hero's evolved and kind of changed and moved forward. So we have a lot more new looks. So I'm excited to see how
Anna.
Maybe we'll share some of those new looks today, which would be cool.
Okay, do it.
We're gonna reveal
Do it.
McCree's new look for Overwatch 2 as well as Pharah.
Anna,
and we're really excited to show off some of our first villains.
I want to see Sombra.
With Reaper and Widowmaker. But first, I wanted to talk a little bit about
Show me,
technical
dude.
wear, kind of like technical clothing. What that really is using very techie fabrics, as well as
Nice.
having very intricate but functional straps
Lucio looks
designed
good.
in a way that it's very aesthetically pleasing. With McCree, we took a couple of different approaches.
He's
She's
got a
this classic
beard!
cowboy look that it's really hard to mess with, because if you try to make him too sophisticated or too techie, it might not feel
Badass!
But as a concept artist, you always want to change things around and try different
Let's
shapes
go!
and silhouettes. So we did identify as Red Serape as the main thing for McCree.
Oh, he looks
we also
so
tried
good.
A couple different things with McCree's cowboy hat. We didn't really want to mess with that too much, because that's
Nice.
a very
Ah,
iconic
he's
part
the
of
boy.
him. So that's another piece.
That's
that
the
we
boy.
kept. We tried some retro cowboy looks that mixed in some tech here and there.
Nice.
Some that were a little bit more techie than others. Some that were a little bit more classic cowboy. We gave him a little bit of a longer beard, and it really gives him a nice kind of like a more aged look.
I like that a
What's
lot.
different about Pharah than some
Red
of our
Dead
other
Redemption.
heroes is Pharah's completely covered in armor. We didn't want to change her silhouette too much.
Pharah.
It was more about experimenting on different colors. So it felt really
Nice.
appropriate for her to be the one to harken back to those original Overwatch colors.
Oh
of
my
white and
god.
blue. One of the things that we wanted to update on Pharah was her visor. Instead of being completely opaque and
Very
reflective, we tried a little bit more of a transparent approach, and being able to see through it a little bit now allows us to see some more of her emotions. Reaper
Cool.
was actually the ones I was very excited to work on, because I could see a lot of potential.
Let's
in
go,
how we can integrate
Reaper.
His cloak and his cowl.
His back
his
looks
armor,
way better
and how
now.
we can make all those shapes really sing within that classic, Reaper silhouette. We
It's
tried
the
a couple
boy.
takes with the first
Ah,
one,
hex.
just like completely silver arms, more layers to his jacket.
Ooh,
Reaper's got some
damn.
obviously pretty sacred
Let's
to us,
go.
But the thing you'll notice immediately is that it's now completely silver. Instead of the bone white, he's got this like almost like deadly edgy silver. that
Let's
just gives him
go.
that classic Reaper look. With Widowmaker, we started with the idea stage, exploring a breadth of ideas. We tried things like a more insectoid approach, treasure hunter. One of them made her feel like a classic Bond villain, so we kind of steered it back towards one of the more cyberpunk looking ones, almost like a futuristic femme fatale, which is basically what Widowmaker is, but she even feels more upgraded. So I'm super glad that we went down this route. We played with different hairstyles too. Widowmaker has the really long ponytail that's really a key part of her look.
Yeah, it is.
And we really liked the hairstyle on one of the designs that was more of a parade.
Okay,
and it
that's
was really
sick.
Interesting look that also
Craigasm.
preserves Widowmaker's original silhouette with that long ponytail.
We've been working a lot with our domino engine and making our cloth look better. Now that we have this cloth tech, we're going to be able to make some really cool, unique silhouettes that will help them stand out from other heroes.
Ah.
We put a lot of time and effort into our face rig.
The
and
cape
what I mean by that
moves.
is we're going to be able to get really close to these characters, and it's going to feel really cool.
Wow.
It is absolutely worth the time and the effort to invest in the technology.
Wow.
And that way we can make these characters do more things that we haven't really been able to do before.
Brig and Ryan.
It's been super exciting working on the new looks for Overwatch 2, and it's just been so
They're
inspiring.
talking to
watch
each
the team
other
try
like
things that we've
story,
never
like
tried
story.
before, and I just can't wait to show off more in the future.
Ah, that's so cool. Story Okay.
Overwatch 2 is probably the largest opportunity we've had since the inception of the franchise to really expand what Overwatch even means to our players.
Looks so good.
In 0 Hour, we saw that some of the heroes got back together, but we're also seeing that there seems to be a second huge Omnic uprising. We're going to learn who's behind that uprising, why that's happening, how globally spread is it.
Look at
the Story and
this.
franchise development group, they were really the torchbearers of what the big story is that
Oh
we were
my
gonna
God,
tell for this game.
Sojourn!
We have a lot of interaction with
They're
them.
walking-
They're working on in-game cinematic intros and outros for every one
Zenyatta.
of our story missions.
It's been really great to see this
Oh my
collaboration grow and develop.
God!
The story is just a little more integrated into our missions than it ever really has been before. All the available heroes get dialogue for a given
Oh my
mission.
God!
We have NPCs. We have multiple hero choices.
We have all sorts of events that are happening that are driving players to interact with each other or parts of the environment or other characters.
The world of Overwatch is this bright, shiny future.
Toronto!
So how do you take that bright, shiny future and create conflict in it? How dark can the world of
Zen
Overwatch
looks so good in that.
The different challenges that these characters are going to have to overcome in Overwatch 2 are things that they haven't ever dealt with before or dealt with on this scale. So what we had to do was literally strip it down to
Farah.
bare bones.
Farah's in a
Where are these characters in
cinematic!
their lives? Overwatch has been disbanded.
I've
And
never seen her in a
now there's
cinematic
situation
before.
Where the world's in trouble again, and the world needs the heroes again, but they're not allowed to be doing what they were supposed to be doing.
We started to book these
I can't wait
off-site
to.
locations.
This is all I ever
so we
wanted,
could
dude.
brainstorm
All I ever
over
wanted.
and over
I've
different
been waiting for a
versions
year.
of what the Overwatch 2
2 years.
story campaign could be.
And we basically had these whiteboards that we were carting around everywhere.
The room
Nice.
was filled with whiteboards, and we would just write every day story beats with the characters and who was doing what and where. And oh my
I
gosh, we
wanted
forgot
to, as
this
much as I
character.
wanted this
We
year.
had these giant
I don't
sticky
know.
notes, and
I
each
would love
one
it.
of them would be a mission with a bunch of notes on it. You know, somebody say, "Well, what if we moved Rio to the end?" and they'd physically grab it off the wall and stick it on the end.
It's
And we did this
epic.
for a while, until we all felt that it was pretty close to what we wanted.
Then we could send it to our
Look at
writers' rooms. The
this.
writers' rooms then had a much clearer direction of where we wanted this process to go.
They literally made
Ultimately, we come up with
cinematics.
something that we think
It's
is
actually a
right
whole new
for
game.
the
It's actually a
And
whole
then we
new
pitch
game.
it back to the game team, and they point out everything
Literally.
that we missed.
And that allows us to actually back up and go and make it right and make it better.
Because the scale of this story is so
Progressive
huge,
story
it takes
mode,
place
dude.
over the whole world, basically. It just requires
And
a
it's co-op,
constant iteration,
so we can play
constant
together
refinement
and
to make the
story
as
together.
best as we can make it.
From writing,
That's
we go
fucking
to
hype,
storyboards.
dude.
The storyboards get crafted with the edit. From there, it'll go to a previs department where they'll start to flesh it out in 3D. Once we've kind of figured out our camera work and our cinematography,
Agree.
that'll then go to the animation department.
Echo.
And then we end up going right into the game engine.
Sombra and Widow are fighting Genji. Oh
One
my
of our
god, Bastion.
challenges was
Oh, shit.
to figure out how to integrate this story and this narrative with the gameplay.
So if the intro cinematic ends with this huge battle, this huge war,
Genji's defending
when you
Zen.
get into the game, it has to mesh and feel the exact same way and blend together.
Wow, wow,
We're
wow, wow,
also
wow, wow.
trying to get the music to be equally as consistent from in-game cinematics straight through to the mission. Adam Burgess, our lead composer, has been working with the IGC team,
Whoa,
with the game team,
look at this.
developing themes for all of the heroes, all of the locations.
Whoa.
As the cinematic director, whatever we're crafting should never override the
Oh
gameplay.
my god, I
We
want
wanna
to hear
make
them
sure
talk
that
to each
the player's
other.
experience going from the cinematic to the gameplay
I like
is
Sojourn.
seamless, and it feels like a completely immersive experience.
Sojourn's right click.
Engineers, we have to find a way to actually make that come to fruition. The choreo tool is a tool that allows people to coordinate.
She has a
different
right
events that happen
click.
at the same time.
That's
We
like a
played in
burst,
Rio,
I
if we
guess.
played our demo. One of the buildings explodes, and so that kind of
Whoa.
event needs to happen as you're running by, and you need to have it timed because
The
if it
character
blows up
jumped.
too early, then you don't see it. It allows story moments in missions that interact with the environment.
He's like, don't hurt
interact
me,
with our
please, don't hurt
characters.
me.
New
The
tech,
Bastion.
new abilities that we have now
Don't hurt
are
me, no,
allowing us
no.
to push our storytelling farther than we could have previously.
What's also really powerful about choreo is that, you know, if somebody has an idea, they can mock
Sick.
things up really quickly.
We got to show the Widowmaker making this awesome introduction. And Casey was able to quickly put a really rough prototype in choreo.
Whoa.
And Philip would come in and on the fly, he's making quick changes. They play tested something that would
What?
normally take weeks. It was done in like a matter of days.
That was so
Story
cool.
mission has its own custom
That was so
map built
cool.
for it, and these maps are absolutely
What?
gigantic.
India is one of our biggest maps, and it's a fun map because it
That was
has a few
badass.
story beats that we've taken from recent comics and characters in the game.
Wow.
We've written a history for each city so that the cities feel lived in. And
Is
I
that a
think
new map?
Informs the artists so that they know like what it is that the city has been through.
Gothenburg was our chance to show Torbjorn's workshop.
Oh
We
my
created a space that kinda
God!
fits his height. So there's, step ladders and scalable tables. We designed the space as if we were a torb, Molten steel is pouring out of walls. It's pretty epic when you walk into it.
What?
Toronto was under siege by Null Sector when the players arrived here.
That is
It's a
India,
dynamic
yeah.
snowstorm.
It was India
So
back
as you
there.
make your way through the level, the snow is slowly building up. Suddenly by the end, the characters are caught in this gigantic snowstorm and they must fight their way through.
In Overwatch 2, we want to give you choice to be able to play this character or that character.
Nice.
So we're designing a lot of systems around how their relationships develop over the course of the story missions in the campaign.
Oh, Soldier nagging Winston. That's so adorable.
Of many characters, all
I like
on
that.
screen, all at the same time, and it's fantastic to actually see them all interacting and working together in ways that we've never actually seen. We've always thought about it and hoped for it, but now it's actually happening.
It's happening.
It actually requires us to have a whole new branching dialogue system. If you happen to have Genji and Mercy in the second mission of the game, you might get different dialogue.
What?
It's about their relationship.
Our voice actors bring the characters to life in ways
Oh shit, it's her.
everybody has fallen in love with, from Inside Blizzard to the
What? So depending on the character you play,
collection of
different
actors
dialogue
all
plays
together, all interacting.
in the
It's
same
been a
mission,
real
like
treat.
story and everything.
I wish people could
That's badass.
see how many people are involved when it comes to something like telling the
Look at
story
that.
of Overwatch. It doesn't just come from a singular
Poor
person.
Omnic.
It comes from a group, and it's a really talented, fun group that all works together.
They're awesome.
We've been developing what we hope is one of the best stories ever. There's some key story moments that I'm really excited about, and I really can't wait to see how people react to it.
Oh shit! Oh. I'm liking this Sojourn chick, dude.
We've been talking
Here we
about
go.
the game, about this universe. I know you
The music.
all love it so much.
Stop it.
Right now, we can sit down and have a night of Overwatch 2 and have it be a really fun experience. And I think we need some
Stop it.
more time till we can say
With that music.
it's perfectly polished in the way that we want it.
We
Beautiful.
made such incredible strides since we first announced this and showed it to the community at BlizzCon in 2019.
The thing that I'm most excited
It's
about
so fucking
is
good,
that
man. It
moment
really is.
when we hand the game over to the players.
We want to create something that really moves people, really touches people.
That's why we do it. We create the game because we want it to become part of your life and for you to experience it.
Man, they fucking popped off. They
Overwatch
fucking
2,
popped
we're
off, dude.
up
They
in the
actually
bar.
fucking popped off.
It's kind of 5 games in one. It's a huge undertaking.
The new tech,
Damn!
the new aesthetics for the new looks, bring you closer to the characters that you love, and we're just getting started.
The fidelity of the gameplay experience is much richer.
We are making cinematics that push the boundary of what we can do. to
This
tell
is
stories.
my game, dude.
We want this
It's always
dynamic
been my
world. We
game.
want things to feel alive.
Always, baby.
I'm really looking forward to being able to expand the world of Overwatch for our players.
Wow!
We're really trying to tell this epic story.
The new map and the new game mode.
In order to make a game great, it takes time, energy, collaboration.
We have just an incredibly professional team of designers and artists and engineers.
We just love bringing this world to you.
They're
guys.
real
So many
humans.
cool characters.
They're real
It's
devs,
just a
like,
blast
really.
working on it.
Our
Passionate.
goal is for Overwatch 2 to be the worthy successor to the first game, to be the next evolution, and to be a true sequel.
We have big plans. So thank you for sticking with us.
We're gonna cross the finish line, and I know it's gonna be awesome.
So good, dude.
I hope people just end up loving playing it over and over.
That's what we want to try and capture. I'm jumping in. I'm playing. Let's go be heroes.
Man, I've never, like, that just happened. Like, that just happened, dude. New skin? Oh my god. Look at that Rhine! What?
Dolby is a proud partner of BlizzConline. Watch Shock versus the World in Dolby Vision and Dolby
Dude, I
Atmos
literally,
only in the Dolby Access
I
app.
literally had a tear in my eye
Coca-Cola,
at
the
the end
official
there,
refreshment of
but I held
BlizzConline.
it back. I'm serious. I had a tear in my eye and I held it.